Well, welcome to the interview, Blind Toes. I'm gonna get go ahead and get started by telling you how pleased I am that you're here on my channel. Yeah, I've been wanting to interview you for a while. One thing I just wanted to take this time and say thank you because you've been very supportive of Aaron's opinion. You've always liked my comments on live streams that we've both been on, whether it's Whistler or whoever's channel it is. I've always known you in the comments to be a really kind person, and I really appreciate it, man. So please, but yet outside of what I've seen, the very little I've seen on YouTube, um, like I was saying before I pushed record, I don't really know much about you at all. So who is this Blind Toes, and what made you want to get into YouTube? And you can basically take this interview any direction that the conversation goes. Go right ahead.
Oh, well, like I want to say thank you because like I'm surprised that like you messaged me too, like for like this interview too. Yeah. Well, like for like how I got into it, it was just a casual conversation about like me and like my friend just in a car going, oh, like you could nowadays earn a living without going to college, and I was like, yeah, even like you're doing like YouTube, you can make a living out of it. Besides being entertaining or just doing whatever goofy things like you want to do for like YouTube, you can legitimately just earn a living from doing just like YouTube. So that's
Oh,
all.
okay.
Yeah.
And that's how it came about. Well, I don't know how much you do or do not know about Aaron's opinion, but I got into podcasting, Blind Toes, a couple years ago because I'm blind and I have glaucoma and I'm 30 years old. And I was listening to podcasts in the blindness field, in the blindness community. And I felt that these podcasts that were out there in the blindness community just were not open enough, and open enough to guests, and open enough to people talking about the issues that are important in their lives to them. So, I'm a teacher, and I teach English as a second language on some online company or something like that. And I love educating people and I love talking to people. So I thought, well, since I talk, why don't I record it, push record, and see where it goes? Well, actually, accidentally, I created a YouTube channel and podcast experience. And then the more I do these interviews, the more I'm able to connect with more people and really be able to help other blind people around the world. And I really mean that. I really intend, I really want to help you for real. And I really want to help, everyone, anyone in the audience, in a real and productive way by providing content that you truly enjoy. So that's basically
Okay.
what we do here at Aaron's Opinion. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I totally agree. Yeah, because like yours is like different from every other blind like podcaster. Because like
Cool. How am I that's what? Let me just interject a little here and say that was a really interesting thing you just said. Nobody has said that to me. I want to expand on that. How do I stand out from all other blind podcasters?
okay,
Apart from the fact that it's not Aaron's opinion toes. I understand that. But apart from not having the toes in the title, how do I stand out from all other podcasters?
like okay, every interview is like totally different. Like because like instead of like like constantly talking about blindness this, blindness that, and then like sighted people do this, sighted people do that, or this hasn't been like accessible. No, like you just like take it where like you get to know the person that like, you're interviewing, and then like the person that you're interviewing is like giving their experiences, and then like more of a like a broader sense of like there's more things that like you can learn or know.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
That's about, you know what? That's about the kindest thing anyone has said to me on this channel. I mean it. I really mean it. That's so nice of you because it's exactly why I wanted to stand out. I wanted to create interviews that are just really open, where we might talk about blindness stuff, or we might talk about life. We might talk about philosophy. We might talk about really anything. So that's why. I really appreciate having you because you're the first guest to really notice it and really bring it up out loud. I hope that other people are noticing that. I'm suspicious that they are, but I hope that they secretly are noticing that. I that's so nice of you to say. I really appreciate it. And but yet also let me just say, we just to be completely transparent and fair about it, that there are great YouTube channels who are run by blind people that do focus on one special thing, and that's cool too. That's really good as well. I completely support that. But also, you're right. It is important to have a an interview experience that is really open, and I'm a pretty open person, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because like what I noticed doing YouTube too is like, okay, the blind community here on YouTube, then like other blind communities, it's like they focus on one thing, and like yes, but then like we're only preaching to ourselves, not like everyone else though. So it's why like
Right.
yeah, it's why like my YouTube channel is more. I I was doing blindness content for a while, but then once I started live streaming and being more entertaining, that's when I saw that people like it when I, am entertaining. They enjoy just like the entertainment aspect of it.
So, right. So I haven't seen much of your channel. So what are some of your content and like what do you do on your videos? Talk about it.
Well, since I've been switching to live streaming, people just do enjoy like the conversation, especially like me talking about like anime from a blindness perspective. Even though anime is more of a visual thing, but I focus on more of like the story element of it because majority of anime is like a good like a dialogue, and yeah, there are some like action scenes that yes, I can't really see what's happening, but then you can still follow along because of the dialogue of like the story.
Right. Right. Oh, definitely. Definitely. I have a lot of students around the world who are fascinated by anime. And I think a lot of the I think a lot of the fascination with anime is that yeah, they have very good characters and very good plots that people really enjoy. So I think that's why people love anime so much.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and like like what I talk about it like from a blindness perspective, like even though I can't see it, but then like I can still talk about it. Yeah.
Right, right. So, like specifically speaking, what is your favorite anime series, or what's your favorite anime character? I mean, like how does it work?
Well, my top one is right now is Cowboy Bebop. And that's more like a sort of the '90s. It's like a cowboy like noir aspect, but like in space, basically. Like they go like they fly around in like spaceship called like the Bebop, and then like just like their different experience of each of like the characters have like their own experience that like you're experiencing like through each episode because that series each episode is not like sequential, like one episode after the next. No, each episode is like its own episode, like within itself of like a noir style.
Huh, huh. So each episode of anime is kind of its own story, basically.
Yes, but like for that anime for Cowboy Bebop, some have like it's like after each episode, one after another continues the story. You have like some,
Hmm.
then like there are just different categories like slice of life, action, drama, like anime just has like a lot of categories. So usually things um like the usual thing I say is there's an anime for everyone. Like you may say you don't like it, but there is an anime for you.
Cool, cool. Okay. Well, I like nature and adventure and like stories about like the universe and survival. So what anime's for me?
Uh, Probably like they would have action with it too. Probably like Hunter x Hunter. That one's pretty good. nature. Hmm. I wish I seen a lot more because like I seen so much. It's like tough. Adventure, like more of what like the slice of life, or like more of like fantasy adventure.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
see. I see.
yeah. So it's like there would be um or like there's like one that's called a devil is a part timer. That one's more like a fantasy where like the devil accidentally gets teleported into our world, right? And then like he gets an idea of like to rule our world is working at a McDonald's.
That's that's interesting. And how does this play out?
Well, I only watched the first season because like the way that plays out, like he gets an idea of that, then like he goes through like each episode just working at the McDonald's, and then like you have the hero, like that is fighting against the devil. Somehow that character gets popped into our world too, and then like not to spoil it too, because like somehow like the character gets roped into I don't know, seeing a different side of him. You know.
Hmm. That sounds really interesting. So, in other words, are all animes like animated? I mean, I know it's kind of an ignorant question, but are all of them like animation?
Yes.
All of them are. I see. I see.
Yeah, and then like there's one like just like you want to relax and just like like there are some just relaxing ones, and like Food Wars is basically that one doesn't have a protagonist. It's mostly about like cooking.
That's interesting. Yeah. So it's clear to me that with anime you can find something that is of interest to you, kind of your flavor of anime, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like just more of slice of life, more like oh like realistic ones like uh shoot, I wish I had more like to tell you.
That's fine. Sure. No, I get it. That's cool. Now, now in my case, speaking of the blindness, because it kind of fits into the conversation, I have some usable vision, but what about you, Toes? Do you have usable vision, or are you like totally, totally blind, as we would say?
I am totally blind.
Okay. So with anime, do you watch it with like basically like DVS, like audio description, or how do you manage that? I mean, the audience would probably want to ask that. That's why I ask.
Oh no, no, it's fine. No, because like anime does not have audio description. I
Mm-hmm.
only know maybe one or two series that have it. Like
Hmm.
um, I was Avatar: The Last Airbender has it surprisingly, and The Legend of Korra. Actually, yeah, three, and High Score Girl has audio description.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like
Right.
majority like I'm more of like the 50-50.
Mm.
If it has like a audio description, a bonus. Because regardless if it has audio description or not, I'm still enjoying it. That's the same thing for me with like movies too. Like for like the Marvel movies or like any other movies, like the classic was it like a Gran Torino? I, I just found out that that did have audio description. Yes, it was enjoyable. But like how I got into that one is I watched it without like the audio description, and it was still enjoyable.
Okay. All right. Good. So I guess if it doesn't have the description, then you just listen. You just tune into the dialogue and just listen to it and get out of it what you can get out of it, I guess, right?
Yeah, because like okay, I have a good like a imagination, so you can like get through a movie, yes, you can't really see the visual, but then at the same time you're hearing the sounds like wherever, then like the dialogue. Yeah, you could closely piece like what what you're hearing.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that is all really good. I completely understand. So good. Now, Um, outside of your YouTube toes, do you also use the audio of the videos for a podcast? What do you do, in the podcast realm?
I don't have a podcast yet, but like um a friend or two like asked me like if I would think about like having like the blind anime talk as a podcast. And like
Hmm. Hmm.
for because when I stream I use StreamYard, and like the person said yeah, but like I could just download the audio and then just pop it on whatever podcast host that like that I that I wanted to.
Right, right. So the way it can work is the way that I see it is if you're on YouTube, there's no excuse for you not to have a podcast because you can just take the audio from a file and just turn it into one. So really it should be, I mean, this is only my opinion. It should be a full experience where either people watch the video or they listen to you. And but it should you should present the audience with both options. In my case, the product that I give are YouTube videos, but then in the comments of the video, I give the link to the podcast, like the audio podcast of it. So then the person can just decide one way or the other. You'll find that with YouTube, as you already have, that more people watch YouTube, but I also find that the people who listen to podcasts tend to be the people that are interested in what you're talking about. So it's kind of you have to hone in there two different interesting audiences. The type of
No,
people who
yeah,
yeah,
I totally agree because like now, like you're seeing podcasts like pop up like everywhere. Like everyone has a podcast now. Like
right.
that too. Even like the YouTubers are hopping on like the podcast like wagon too.
Right. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And when you are not YouTubing, what else, how else are you spending your time each day?
Just mostly like relaxing. Sometimes I read a book just to like calm my mind down, or like watch like anime on the side just for like for fun. Or now I just recently started getting back into like in gaming, just playing like video games again.
Mm, do you know that I interviewed Illegally Cited?
No, I didn't see that yet.
Really, really. I'll have to go back and find that particular YouTube video for you. I know that you would love that one. Yeah, I've
Uh,
talked to him before though.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I do follow him on like YouTube, and I followed him like it was like way back then, like when he had what like I think like 500 subs.
I see. I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I really enjoy, I mean, guys, you know how much I enjoy every interview 1,000%, but I also enjoy, well, I enjoy every interview, but I certainly enjoyed speaking with Illegally Cited that day. I think it was about a year ago. I remember it being a summer interview for some reason. And yeah, he's not only does he love playing the games, but boy, does he have knowledge. I mean, he basically re-educated me about everything that I didn't know about the whole video game and computer. I mean, the amount of knowledge that he has about that one topic is really stellar. I mean, gosh,
Oh,
if I
no,
had a video game question, I would just ask him.
I totally
Hmm.
agree.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
more of like just like entertaining, just hanging out.
See, but okay, but let me go back to a point you made before. You know how you were saying how you really enjoyed the content here at Aaron's Opinion because I'm really broad and I really have a wide range of guests. The thing is,
Yes.
Illegally Cited is a great example of someone who should only be producing content about gaming, accessible gaming, because he's really good at it. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's his that's his corner. That's his niche.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. So, it kind of depends. Now back to your idea with blind anime talk, right? Well, how many other blind people, and you can tell that I don't know because I'm not in the community, how many other blind people follow anime with as much enjoyment as you? Well, I mean, have you researched that as an audience demographic?
No, but I really noticed that that I'm probably like the only one that's actually doing blind anime talk. But yeah, like the blind anime talk is I haven't seen any other blind YouTuber that is doing it because like they're mainly doing talking about blindness or like being an I can't get the word out. The advocacy work too. Saying
Mm.
be accessible, how this should be accessible, or like the sighted community should understand more, or like blindness is a spectrum. Like everyone else is doing that.
Yeah, yeah, and I appreciate their content, and I think that those are topics that we need to talk about here at Aaron's Opinion, and I do. But I think that they can also be overdone.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we can easily talk about those things too much, and
Yeah,
then if you aren't broad enough, then you can't broaden your audience. So it's a very, we're in a very specific group on YouTube. We're in a very specific group of a very small and a fairly sensitive audience. And by sensitive, I mean that our audience is hyper aware of the content that we put out. I think us blind people take YouTube very seriously about who we listen to and watch. So,
yeah,
that's a factor. Yeah.
I do agree on that. But then at the same time, like just like just hearing about it constantly is sometimes boring because like
Hmm.
sometimes I just want to watch YouTube to be entertained. So that's why like I switched to more of being a entertaining channel. To be like for like people like I either hang out with friends or do spicy challenges or do whatever. Just because I want to entertain people.
Right. Right. Yes. Yes. Well, I mean, I think for you that's great, and I can assure you that if you showed me one of your entertaining videos, I would love it. I know I will. But also, like a lot of these entertaining videos on YouTube that are like, when I go to YouTube, I either want to watch something that I'm really passionate about and interested in, or I want to learn something new. So it
No,
just
yeah,
kind of,
because
everybody has their own personality on YouTube as well. Yeah.
like YouTube is just like a big like a search engine.
Yeah, well, it is. It's a Google product. I would say if someone came up to me and said, Aaron's opinion, can you define YouTube? I would say a visual representation of Google,
Mm-hmm.
because it's basically what it is, a video form of Google. You're Googling videos. Anything when we upload on YouTube, Google is making notes. So it's all we're contributing to the Googleization of
Yeah,
society is what it
because
is.
like back then for a while, but like before YouTube, everyone's like, oh, just like Google it. Now it's you now just
YouTube.
yeah, like YouTube it. You know?
Yeah, exact. Funny you mention it. I was speaking with someone earlier today, and it was a person, and they needed to learn more about Marco Polo, and they wanted to know what the truth was. So I typed into YouTube, "What is the truth about Marco Polo?" And I pulled up a perfect video. So it's like the thing with YouTube search as a blind person or anyone is
Mhm.
approach it from a Googling perspective. If you type in the right question and then watch the first video that comes up, you hopefully will get led to the right video and the right answers. But it does depend for sure. Yeah.
Depend on like the right keywords that like you put in.
Right, right. And also, of course, it would depend on the languages that you're watching YouTube in and searching as well.
It does.
And for me, I speak English and French. So what about you? What languages do you speak?
I speak English and I like Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. Good. Excellent. Um, so I have a really interesting question. So, you know how I have my opinion. So, do you think there's any like blind Vietnamese people that have a channel that do what I do?
I don't know because my Vietnamese is probably like 50% fluent because I don't watch too much of like the Vietnamese like content.
Ah, I see. I see.
Yeah, because like I grew up like here because like I was born here, so I was more used to speaking English and hearing English because it was usually okay. speak Vietnamese at home, but then once I got outside the door and go to school, it's English.
Right, right. I see. I see. I always wonder, and I always welcome people like that. Well, if you if you find out that there secretly is some other guy, some Vietnamese person who's blind and has their own channel, definitely let me know, because know that they're welcome here on Aaron's Opinion. So I imagine that there probably are a lot of opinion channels all over the world, but I don't find out about them because they don't have enough subscribers, or they aren't in English or French, or their videos don't, surface to an area where I'm able to find them. That's the other mysterious thing. Yeah.
It's like YouTube is like is like a tough thing to do because like you need like to make enough videos to just have your videos pop up or like have enough likes or like the right title, the right thumbnail, the right tag, yeah, like all those
I
combined
mean,
together.
I think what it really is I think that to be successful on YouTube, you have to consistently produce videos that you enjoy producing. People have to
Yeah.
see that you're engaged in what you're producing. And then over time, the material gets pushed out. But I think the distribution of the material is a lot slower than us producing, is what I think. Yeah.
Yes, because like the consistency is hard because yeah, you can do it like every day, but then like it's much easier to do it like once a week because you're consistent. Because like if you have like videos like every day, then like by next week you're gonna have to think of another five because five, then like you would have like then you would burn yourself out. You might as well just stretch out like your videos either like twice a week or like just like once a week.
Right. Sure. Sure, sure, sure. And that's basically how it's working here at Aaron's Opinion. I produce videos on Thursdays. Every Thursday at 1200 New York, a video
Mm-hmm.
is released. And the reasoning is that, the radio station where this is being syndicated, they have me on their schedule at Thursdays at 12 o'clock. So eventually it'll all come together as one product. That's my, of course, dream and hope, and, things like that. Um,
Well,
but I think once a week is a good amount, is a good benchmark for knowing when to upload a new video, a new installment. Once a week is good.
same.
Preferably at the same time is also important.
No, I agree because like I only do my live streams like once a week because that's all I can manage and like it gives me time like to think of other ideas too. Because like besides YouTube, I'm doing like a radio too because I'm a DJ for a internet like a radio station.
Oh, good. Let's talk about. Oh, I love talking about internet radio. Let's talk about that. So, what internet radio station are you doing DJing for?
I'm entering I'm DJing for Ocean Waves Radio.
What's it called? Ocean what? Ocean Waves Radio?
Yeah, Ocean Waves Radio.
Okay, and what can you tell me about? Great, I've never heard of them. What can you tell me about Ocean Waves Radio?
Well, it just launched like in October of last year.
Hmm.
It has like different types of music for like everyone. They have Wednesdays and Sundays just like worship music. Then if like into like beach music, they have a show for that, or like into 90s and 2000s, they have that. Just like different categories too.
That's really good. Now, is Ocean Waves Radio like a radio station geared towards, for instance, have you heard of UVC radio? Yes?
No, no.
No. Oh, no, no. Oh, okay. Um, okay. Is Ocean Waves Radio a station that is geared towards like blind people? Is it only blind people that organize it and run it, or is it just like anyone?
Well, it's run by a blind person, and
Oh, good.
and some of the DJs are blind, but then it's mostly not all blind. There's like one sighted person. Like if that's a DJ.
Right, right. Okay, okay. Well, of course. Um, and do you by any chance know of the CEO or the founder of the station?
Yes, I do.
Oh, well, they're welcome on Aaron's Opinion. I would love to interview them here at Aaron's Opinion. They're welcome. Well,
Uh,
cool. Let's talk about that off air. But I would love to get more information about that station. That's so good. Yeah.
uh, yeah. Yeah. I can even like give her like your number. No, no, like you like her number.
Or yes, please. That's here. Yeah. Let's not say it like quite so abruptly over the air. But yes, that's fine. Yeah, we can. Yeah, I'll explain after I finish the recording. That's. But yeah, any chance that I have to expand my audience and expand the guests and give people more opportunity to come talk about their radio station here, it's Aaron's Opinion is open. I'm totally open to that, and I welcome it. Um, in
Like
fact, yeah,
like
yeah.
like you find interesting people. Like other interesting people like to talk to interview. Yeah, like any way you can. You know.
You got it. You got it. So when you DJ for Ocean Waves Radio, like what is your segment that you put together for them?
Well, my I play mainly now. K-pop, so Korean pop music.
Okay. All right. All right. Cool. Cool. Now what do you like about K-pop? What stands out to you about K-pop?
It's just like the upbeat, music. Even though I can't understand it, even though I could just go to Google and just like translate it like the lyrics, but I just enjoy it because it's upbeat, and it's fun. It just makes me either want to dance or just bob my head or just and it just like it sounds good.
Mm-hmm. 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 Right. Right. Cool. Cool. So you just kind of like the flavor of it. You just kind of like the atmosphere of K-pop.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's what stands out to a lot of people. I think a lot of people really appreciate the flavor of that, of that genre for sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
that's really good. Now, have you researched? I mean, it would be kind of interesting. Have you researched the lyrics and the meaning of your favorite K-pop song to truly understand what they're saying and what it means?
When I remember to, yes, like one or two songs.
Right. I see. I see. That is very interesting.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the K-pop, like the K-pop world is really, it's a interesting world.
Sure. Sure it is.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Right. Right. Definitely. Cool, cool. And do you put your show out like is it like in the morning, afternoon, evening, like what time slot do you have on the station?
I have a time slot every Tuesday night at like 9 o'clock.
Oh, really good, really good. Well,
It's like,
I'm really proud to hear this. I had never heard of the station, and I had never known about your show. So, we'll definitely have to put something together where maybe, I mean, if you want, I can even put a link to your show, your particular segment, in the description if you have your own show's page. But if not, I can just put your YouTube channel up there. But it's always good to know about these, up and coming shows. So besides you, what are some of the other like interesting topics and interesting things on that station?
well, like you can just put like my YouTube link because like I don't have a link to that.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, but like the other things for like the radio station, now like we play like Hawaiian music now, like on Fridays from 8 to 9. And then let's see, there's like Southern Rock now on it too.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a show called At the Hop, like where The DJ, one of the DJs plays 50s and 60s music.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's a good mix.
That's really good. That's really good. And is the station like based here in the States, or where is the station based? I mean, it's
Uh,
online, but
yeah, it's based in Orlando, Florida.
oh wow. Okay, that's not too far from my affiliate where my station is based too. That's interesting. All right.
Oh,
Cool. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot I mean, there's radio stations everywhere, but there's a lot of them in Florida.
oh yeah, and nowadays, like, yeah, you can run your own like a radio station from like your home.
Yeah, you can if you set it up right and have all the DJs, and
Hmm.
if you really know what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. All right, all right. And does that station have any does Ocean Waves have any like international listeners, or do you think it's just mostly people from the States who tune into that?
Well, I don't know, but I, I, I certainly think so, or
Well,
hope
good.
so.
Well, good. Well, good. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Great. Great.
Yeah.
And that's all really good. So you do that. All right. What are some other things that you do in your free time?
Like besides that, I just I don't know. Like either like I said, just either read a book, watch anime, or watch movies, or sometimes play games. I just do that. Oh, and exercise a little bit too, because yeah, you gotta get on back on like the healthy wagon too.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, me too. Same here. I definitely am working on that. It's been harder over the past couple years. Certain things have happened, and
Mm. Well,
but I agree with you though. It is important to maintain health.
it's easier said than done. Like the majority of the time.
Yeah, yeah, you don't no kidding. It definitely is.
Mhm.
Sure. Okay. And where have you traveled to overseas?
The only time I've been overseas is just like in Vietnam.
Okay, cool. And when you go to Vietnam, do you go to Hanoi?
Hanoi. No, was it? Is it Hanoi? Hanoi? Wait, is it like that one? Was it Hanoi? Wait, was that like it's still now? Oh yeah, it's currently now like a Ho Chi Minh City now. Huh?
Oh, so you go to Ho Chi Minh City. Okay, I
Oh, okay,
see.
okay. Hanoi, it is more of like northern. No, I'm more of like the southern side, like Saigon. But
Ah,
now it's like a Ho Chi Minh City.
okay, good, cool. In very interesting. All right. And mm, what are some topics that you want me to talk about, and what are some questions that you have for me about my life, my philosophy of the universe? Go right ahead.
Okay. I don't know, you know, I'm just mostly curious on how'd you get your like a podcast like it started though.
Well, I mean, basically, as I said before, I was listening to
Mhm.
podcasts for blind people in the blindness community, but they just weren't really open enough. And I really think that as a podcast, you have to be open to people.
Mhm.
And I tried to be an open person, and that's how I got into it. And what I would do is I would go around these various, you know, Facebook groups and answer people's questions. I had someone in the group years ago who asked a question: should I adopt a dog or cat or something like that, right? And then I would take out my microphone and I would say, so one of you out there in the group wants to know, should I adopt a dog or cat? And
Mhm.
I went through the pros and cons, and then I saved it and published it back. I sent it back to the person as a reply in the group. Well, those
Mhm.
replies turned into people listening, and then it kind of spilled into a podcast with me, with my interest in helping others and my interest in answering questions. Sure. So that's
Oh,
really how it got going. Yeah.
and then was it hard like find the equipment for it? or we're learning like what.
Well, I mean, for me, no, because I'm already comfortable with my iMac, my microphone, recording. I do not edit things, so everything we say and do, it's just natural. It's just how it is, and
Mhm.
whatever comes of the episode comes of it. And I think that's kind of my artistic. That's my that's my paintbrush, kind of. That's my artistic spin on it.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
for me, what I've had to figure out is how well one thing that if you get into podcasting and do interviews that you're gonna find to be difficult, toes, and just like the exercising thing, easier said than done. Trust me, is learning how to talk to a guest and
Mm-hmm.
learning how to kind of maintain a rapport with a guest to help the guest to know that they can come and talk to you and that particular guest feels really comfortable and is really wanting to come, and then
Yeah.
figuring out also, which is harder though, figuring out when guests are trying to politely back out, and they do it in a
Mhm.
very subtle way and it can be very difficult to tell. So the other
Yeah.
thing is like knowing kind of how to approach a guest, knowing how
Mm-hmm.
to organize the content, when to release it, knowing how to host it, knowing that Anchor is the way to go, in my opinion, knowing that I have to produce my own video, and knowing that I found a perfect radio station that has graciously given me the privilege of syndicating the podcast. So it's more about kind of the hard part about podcasting is figuring out how our jigsaw piece fits into
Mm-hmm.
the jigsaw puzzle of podcast. We have to fit ourselves in there. But once we're there, then we kind of just talk. It's about how we fit into it is where it starts to get difficult. Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like when I started doing just live streams and just having like other people on, yeah, because like the hard part was actually keeping the conversation moving and not having like long pauses.
I know.
'Cause, like I think because like that was the hard part, just keeping the conversation just flowing and flowing like naturally.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's one thing, one piece. If I'm going to offer any constructive criticism at all, which I don't mean it to be criticizing, I just mean it to be constructive, is that I
Mm-hmm.
think I really, now this is my honest opinion. I think that with YouTube or a lot of these things, I think that we lose and waste to some extent. I think we're wasting a lot of time with live streams, and here's why. I think with live streams, we're more confused because it's live. And I think our focus is on the fact that it's live. Our
Mm-hmm.
focus is not on the content that we love to produce for the audience in the future. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where I think, if your feet, if your toes start to slip, that's where they would start to, that's no, I'm not letting that go. Okay. You're the one who says you're blind toast. No, I'm not letting the toasting go. No, no.
That's a new
No,
one.
if
Like
you're
that's a
uh,
new one.
with blind toes with me, trust me, every day is a new day.
Yeah.
So
Like.
if your toes start to slip, it will be because you're focused on what the audience is saying, and things like that. I'll tell you right now, if you want a great live stream experience, just go over to Whistler. He'll give you a great live stream as a guest. He's really good at that.
Oh no,
Um,
I I totally agree. He is. Just
and
like.
he's really good at balancing out what he wants to say with the
Mm-hmm.
comments and then the guests. He's really good at that, and he doesn't allow the aspect of the live to detract from his product and content. And I salute him for that.
I totally agree.
But I think that more people would get distracted than focused. In other words, I think unless you get to a point where you have a significant audience and following of
Mm-hmm.
several thousand, I think you're better off producing really good videos that are pre-recorded. I think that will stretch the reach further. I think that's what I really think. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is like your own opinion because like here's mine, okay? But this is just for me. I noticed that like for my videos, mm, you know, my personality doesn't come out well enough because once I started switching over to live streaming, people liked my personality better because like it came out more than like my like videos though. But that's just for me.
Hmm. That's really unusual. I appreciate that. I think most people are the opposite, though.
Hmm.
Most people would do better content, or let me rephrase. Most people would produce a more engaging and reachable video when it's pre-recorded than live.
Hmm.
So I don't know. There could be many reasons for that.
Many, but I think it's more of like depending on like the individual. Are they more comfortable with live streaming, or like are they more comfortable with just making videos,
Right.
or some can do both.
Yeah. Now, occasionally, what I will do, I do live streams on the Aaron's Opinion Facebook page,
Hmm.
for major announcements, like major changes in what we do. But I certainly don't do them often. And if I do a live, it's because something needs to be changed, or there needs to be something that I need to make everyone aware of. There has to be kind of a significant reason, and those videos do perform well on the Facebook side. But
Hmm.
it's, that's so yes. If you were wondering, yes, I'm able to go live if I want on the Facebook page. I don't do it often though.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, it's
Cool.
like
Cool. What else? Yeah, sure. What and what else would you like to know?
hmm. I don't know. Did you like go to college?
I did.
Oh,
I graduated from university. I have a degree in international relations,
oh,
and I speak French, as I said. But I spend most of my time now teaching and working on my podcast. Yes. hmm
oh. So you teach French?
No, no. I only teach English. But
Oh,
if people come to me who need to speak French, I'm able to speak. So that's nice. But yes. hmm
yeah.
hmm
And how long was the degree? Like how long did like you study like that for?
It was 4 years.
Wow.
For painfully long years. And then I graduated, and then I had to kind of make my own way in life.
Mm.
hmm
Hey, well, because hey, life just gives you, us or like, people just like a lot more experience though.
I have found that to be the case. I have
Hmm.
found that to be the case. That I've learned more after university than I did in university. But I think most people would say that, quite frankly.
Yeah, I agree. Uh, hmm. I guess I don't have any more questions.
That is fine. That is fine. So, in general, what part of the states do you live in? Are you near New York, or what major city are you near?
Well, I live in Florida.
Oh, now this will get very interesting after the recording. I have something else to tell you about Florida, but whereabouts in Florida?
I would say I'm more near Tampa.
Okay, I know that area very well. Very, very, very well. Yes, that's a very interesting part of Florida for sure.
Hmm.
And have you lived, I mean, in Tampa, in that area your whole life, basically?
No, because originally I was from California.
hmm
Uh, in '06 I moved to Florida.
And what made you move to Florida in '06?
It was mostly like a family stuff.
Okay, all right, sure, sure. So between Florida and California, though, what state is better for blind people overall?
Well, this is just my opinion. I say Florida because of like the resources are like a little bit more better from my experience. Yes, like you do need a car to get around Florida, but the resources here are just good, like especially for the Division of Blind Services or like the Lighthouse for the blind. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's just, like from my experience. Because on like the California side, there's like like rehab, and then like there's what is it? I can't remember the place. It's something like something for the blind there. I know I've been there because like I just can't remember, but like it it's good too. But then like it's kind of different, like from Florida.
Hmm. I see. I see. Yeah,
Mhm.
that is interesting. I've never been to California, so it's hard for me to compare. But I think it depends on where you are in Florida. But I think, and I'm making this. I know I'm making a sweeping generalization, but I think Florida is one of the better states for people who are blind or who have a disability because Florida is a very accommodating, is a more accommodating place to those types of
Mhm.
matters, I think.
Mhm.
Now, of course, oh boy, here's the hate in the comments from some guy in Massachusetts or Vermont or North Dakota who says, "Oh, services are fine in my state." Well, good. I hope they are.
Yeah, yeah.
See, already took care of a comment that's not there. See, you don't even need to comment below on that one. But I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure that the services truthfully vary from state to state, and
Yeah,
that there are good areas for blind people in all 50 states.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
like, from personal opinion, it's like for me, because like that's just for me.
Right. Right. Sure. Sure. Hmm. Hmm. Definitely. Definitely. Yes. And now, whereabouts in California were you living?
Let me see. I was in San Jose
San
near like
Jose. Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
so I think it was more of like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Right.
So fun that they're like in California though, but like but then once I moved here to Florida, wow, the humidity like will get you.
Yeah, but you know what I really think I think that weather for the most part is not a reason to live or not live in a certain state. I mean it's a factor. If you don't like cold weather, don't go to Alaska. I mean, I'll give you that one. But you know, I think that weather changes very rapidly and very quickly. So, mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
That is very interesting.
It is.
And what can you tell me like specifically about your neighborhood? Are you in more of a like are you in like the urban area of Tampa, like more of a rural area of Tampa? How would you describe the neighborhood?
Well, like where I'm living is like the city is like near Tampa. It's more of like like a city, more I think more of like I think an urban area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Right.
yeah, but then like there's like no sidewalks, but
Mm-hmm.
hey, like there's always Uber.
That's true. That's true. Uber has become very popular. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Uber or Lyft too. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, both are extremely popular means of
Hmm.
of transport for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. Well, that's really good. And what are some future topics that you would like to be able to include on your channel?
Uh, I don't know yet because like I just recently just did a channel update. The only newest one I have is just me starting like to play games like for a live stream. So that's the only new one, and just continue my blind anime talk. And maybe like once in a while I'll do a spicy challenge and or
Mm, what are some challenges that you would like to set up on YouTube? What do you think?
Well, I have an Amazon list. That's pretty fun. I just recently found that there's a solar flare uh, sunflower seed challenge where from level 1 to 5 is like increasing the heat of um, like the sunflowers. I also have the choco challenge, the spiciest chocolate bar.
I see, but let's go back. What can you explain in more detail that sunflower thing? What's that one?
Oh, the sunflower seeds, because it comes in like 5 bags, and each of like the bags have uh, like a different types of like peppers, spices. So
Mm-hmm.
first one's probably mild, then like it just slowly gets hotter and hotter and hotter.
Right, right. Until the seed is so spicy you can't really handle it, right?
Yes.
Hmm. Well, that is very interesting for sure. Yeah, I've seen that done in a lot of different ways with spicy sauces and spicy food like that. Look, I mean,
Hmm.
that's all fun, but
Hmm.
you know, the opinion that I'm going to give out is I think it's really important not to do any challenges that encourage people to embody an ideal of blindness, if you know what I mean.
Hmm. Well,
Because there's
I
been
just
there's been some weird challenges that have been perceived to be very, very, very offensive. Hmm.
well, like mine is just mostly just like for entertainment purposes. Like, oh, like you're talking about like the one trend, like with that one movie, like the bird box challenge, kind of where like people like literally just blindfold themselves and just doing regular things. I thought
Kind of.
I thought
Yeah, yeah, like that, exactly like that. And I think that that really sends the wrong message to the community. I think that's and it's not only does it send the wrong message, but people find it to be quite offensive and people get very upset about that. So, mhm.
I thought it was not offensive because I have a good sense of humor. I just mostly think of that as just like really stupid in a way because you're literally just blindfolding yourself, just trying to do like do what what a blind person does, like literally.
Right. And so I think in a philosophical sense, I think you were offended in a comical way, kind of, because you realize the absurdity of doing that whole activity. There's been a lot of challenges that have been done on YouTube. There are so many of them that were obviously not appropriate, but people still did them. So my
Mm-hmm.
advice with challenges, great, do them, but keep it fun, keep it cool,
Mm-hmm.
keep it safe too. That's another. There's been a lot of dangerous challenges that have been done on YouTube.
No, yeah, because like I think like for those people just want like the satisfaction of okay, my video's viral now. That like
See, I don't. That's not what. And I'm sure you can tell by this point that doesn't viral video does not please me. What pleases me is knowing that I helped Toes or that I helped the guest or that
no,
I
yeah,
I produced a great video. I produced a video that both of us enjoyed.
no, yeah.
That should be the thrill for people because
Mm-hmm.
if it's just viral, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not really impressive. I want to see, so what's your content? What's your backbone like, you know?
No,
And
yeah,
I think in the end, I think the videos, that are truly strong videos will in the end become viral
mm-hmm.
in their own right and all of that. Well, anyway, Toes, I tremendously enjoyed having you on. Hey, if someone wants to get in touch with you, how would they do it? You can give yourself a plug before we go.
Well, like they could reach me on like my YouTube channel, Blind Toes, or like reach me on Twitter at Blind Toes. Yeah, like I am constantly on like active on Twitter a lot. So like you reach me from there, or No, yeah. So just my like a YouTube and like my like a Twitter.
All right, Toes. Well, don't hang up. Thanks so much. You are always welcome here at Aaron's Opinion, and have a good night, everybody. Take care.